What is up, Retromaniacs? My name is Mike. His name's EP. His name's Joe. We're not here to give you one. We're not here to give you two. We're here to give you 3 cards you need for your retro PC. These guys cheat all the time. So this week, I'm going to cheat too.
Yeah, do it, Mike.
That's right. Because I have, well, it's kind of a cheat, but it's kind
Oh,
of
see,
not.
I know,
Blah, blah,
it's
blah.
cheating.
I know.
It's cheating.
I know it is. I was just playing Joe. But my cards are the 1992 Merlin Gold Undertaker cards. Look at that. This one's really cool. I like that one the best. Got this one. The camera's not focusing because it's focusing on my good looks. But these cards are kind of difficult to find. The Merlin, I like the 91 Merlin set. These are the 92s. They're kind of rare. You don't find them everywhere. They're probably about a $10, $15 card raw. If you want to get into PSA graded numbers, go look them up yourself because they are all over the place. There was supposedly a PSA 7 of the black card that sold for $100. But when you look at other ones, like there aren't a lot of them. There are only a handful, but like another one sold for like 20. So I don't know. That is a tough grade on this card.
All black border, yeah.
Yeah, because the borders are very difficult on that. But yeah, I don't know what you want to say it's worth PSA graded. So you go look, you decide for yourself. But yeah, second year card of The Undertaker. Probably, well, not probably. These are definitely way more rare than the 91 classic card. There's probably 100 of those for every one of this. I have nothing to back that up on other than my own anecdotal experience, but take it as gospel because
if you put it on Twitter, it's practically fact.
It is, absolutely.
If you do that, yeah, you're set.
Except if it's wrong, I'd have 100 wrestling card collectors telling me how stupid I am because that's how it works.
If it's right, you'll have 100 wrestling card collectors telling you how stupid you are.
This is true. Yeah. This is why I just don't interact very
well. Smart.
Awesome cards. I think you opened a box of those, right, Mike? Didn't you get like, or you're trying to open a box at some point?
No, I opened a bunch of the 91s, but I actually bought these from a guy in the UK. He has a channel called Tweet Wrestling. So check that out. Like, he has a very heavy English accent and I love it. And like talking about wrestling cards, it's soothing. There's something about listening to British people talk about wrestling that is very soothing. I don't know what it is, but
Cultaholic or what
Cultaholic is. Both of them are. So, yeah. So other people agree with me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's all right. No problem. The Merlins they're not made in America, right? They were
no.
UK is where they were made, so that's why they're a little more rare, at least for us. And Undertaker, of course, I mean, one of them, maybe not the most iconic wrestler of all time, but definitely up there. I put him on the Mount Rushmore of figures in wrestling. So,
I mean, he's on my Mount Rushmore, and he's not an asshole, so that jumps him up even higher on the Mount Rushmore. That's a great card. I believe though you said $10. Is that British pounds or is that USD when we were talking about values?
I believe it was USD when I looked
USD.
It up on
Okay,
eBay,
I just wanted to make sure.
Prices may vary in Europe. I don't know.
And to the What Culture thing about them being British and talking about wrestling as well. Trek Culture, which is a spin-off channel of What Culture is Trek, and they have British and Irish accents. So yes, that is very, very enthralling whenever someone talks about something you like in a smart person accent. Really cool cards. I love that black bordered card because that how chipped could that card get? All the way up and down. Like a 7 for $100
is also
right. Like a 7 for $100 does not seem outlandish for a card like that, but it probably is closer to that 20. I'd say probably closer to $20.
It's also a posed card, but not a posed card, right? It's a little bit of an action card because it's on the mat. Like he's doing it on the mat. It's pretty awesome.
Alrighty, P, what do you have for us?
I have. We're fans of Christmas Vacation, and there's one scene where Rusty says to his dad, "That tree won't fit in our yard," and Clark responds, "It's not going in our yard; it's going in our living room." A couple weeks ago, I bought some cards from Bill at the card shop, looking for like $5 cards for my collection, or not for my collection, for my to sell. And I was like, this card's not going in my box to sell. It's going in my collection. And that's a 2003 Skybox World Fleer Skybox or Fleer box score World Peace card number 2 of Vladimir Guerrero with a little pinstripe on it. Little jersey pinstripe on there. I was like, that's too cool of a card to just put in there. It's a $5 card, so it would have fit the $5 I was looking for. $5 to $10. Just an awesome card. Vladimir Guerrero, talked about him a lot. But yeah, it's baseball season. Very, very cool card.
It's crazy what you can buy that stuff. I mean, we've talked about it ad nauseum already on this channel, but the early 2000s, because they were making so much of it, you can get it for nothing. I had a Upper Deck etchings, I think it was, and it was a jersey card or a bat card. It was a bat card, and it had like the logo burned into it and numbered out something or other, and I sold it for like $4 in my stack sale. They're not worth like what they kind of really should be, because they made so many of them. There's so many options, but they're great cards. If you like a player from that era, look for especially Fleer, the early 2000s Fleer stuff, because they had it in everything. So you can find a great game used jersey card or bat card of the player you like for a couple bucks. I guarantee it's less than $10. So yeah, great card.
I do appreciate the Sunday afternoon country drive you took us on with that metaphor from Christmas Vacation. We finally got to the point. I think you somewhat landed it. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, game use. I mean, we've talked about it a lot, like you said, Mike. It's cool to get a little piece of the pinstripe or something like that. Like, it's not, and that's the problem with collectors today, is if it's not, they would rather have a shiny, like flashy piece than a game used piece that's kind of boring. Which, I mean, whatever. That's how kind of people collect now. But like something like that, for our generation, it's, dirt on patches, pinstripes on patches. You don't need a lot. As long as it was game used, that made a big difference. So, and you're right, Mike, they are easy to find and they're cheap-ish to find, unless you're looking for ones from 1997. I've been having some difficulties with one of my New Year's resolutions. I will tell you that. But yeah, very cool card.
In EP's defense, I'm sure that whole lead up sounded a lot better in his head.
Yeah.
Than
Yeah.
it did.
I thought it was a Christmas Vacation card, number one.
I thought it was too. Card. I'm like, I can't wait to see the card.
Yeah. Or a tree card for some reason. I don't know.
Alan and Ginter,
actually, I have both of those kinds of cards.
Okay. Well, you can't use this story again. You can't use the lead up. You've kind of burned it on this card. So there we are.
All right. Since he's wearing his Star Trek outfit again, Captain Joe, what do you have for us?
Let's beam back to 1995-1996 and open up some Flair basketball.
What?
I know. So I am going with 1995-96 Flair basketball hot numbers Chris Webber. Okay. I don't know a ton about Chris Webber. I remember the Fab Five, remember him from Michigan way more than I remember the NBA, because I actually watch college basketball. So I don't know much about what he did. The reason,
didn't he call the timeout that they didn't have?
I believe that is correct. Yeah.
That's
the reason I'm using Chris Webber is because it's the cheapest one from this set. You can pick it up for like $20. These hot numbers cards came 1 in 36 packs. The reason I'm using it, though, is because I collected football primarily in 1995 and 1996. And yeah, the hot numbers in football suck. They're just regular cards. This is like a lithograph. I mean, it is such a cool card. It reminds me of like the Sport Flicks cards. It had that interesting like 3D effect. We saw one in person at the card show, Mike, and I mentioned to you, I've been looking at one of these to use for 3 cards. I mean, they're just such cool cards. If you like Chris Webber, fine, go get it, whatever. I don't care. But I just want to talk about how annoying it is that like Dan Marino, John Elway, Stevie, all these, Joe Montana in his Chiefs uniform, all these really, really cool cards from the hot numbers, and they're just plain cards. Why can't we have these? Why couldn't we have them? They're such cool cards. I wish they did more of these. Non-sports do cards like this a lot, but you don't see it too much in sports cards now. So what would you call it? Lithograph is what I would call that. Would that be the correct terminology there? Lenticular
animation.
That's the word I was groping for. Lenticular. Yes. But yeah, really, really cool card. If you like Chris Webber, go get it. If not, I don't care. But that's my card this week.
Flair is awesome, and like hot numbers, like the other cards. If you would never seen this card, you're like, oh, here, hot numbers cards are pretty cool, right? But this card spoiled it for you. Like these cards spoiled it for you.
Watching Little Victories, he had one of these, and I'm like, that's so much cooler than the football ones. You know what are you gonna do?
I know a guy. His name's Steve Cherendoff. He used to work for Fleer and Skybox back in the mid 90s. I feel like sometime we should get him on the channel and do an interview and just ask him right up front, Steve, why in the hell did you make better inserts for the basketball than you did the football? Yeah. Because I feel like they did it in Ultra too. I feel like some of the Ultra inserts were a lot better looking in basketball than football. Like, what did you have? Steve must not have liked football.
It must have been it.
Or maybe he was just love basketball. He's like, basketball's for me. I want to do what I want to do in basketball. And
What's wild, since you brought it up, Mike, he made a Star Trek in Motion cards, literal lenticular cards, and they're freaking awesome. I opened up a box of them. Didn't give two shits about the autos because the base cards were so freaking cool. So yeah, I mean, the lenticulars are just really, really cool cards, and it just pains me to see the basketball ones that look so much cooler than the football.
And, let's be real. If you worked for a card company at that time, are you going to spend more money or more time on the Michael Jordan inserts or the Kajana Carter and Rick Meyer inserts of the day?
Dan Big Daddy Wilkinson, I believe, has
Dan Wilkinson, yeah. Yeah,
so,
makes sense.
I get you. Yeah, it makes sense. Yep.
Poor
Chris Webber, by the way, we didn't even talk about him as a player.
Chris Webber is a great basketball player.
Yeah, hands down. He gets remembered for that timeout that he called that they didn't have, but he had an awesome career. Great Hall of Fame. Yeah.
All right. Poor Chris Webber. I'm sorry, Chris. I know he watches religiously.
He does religiously. Yeah.
All right, guys. That was worth 3 great choices. We'll see you next week. Take care, guys.
See you, boys.
See you.